Welcome back to my daily vlog where I take you inside of my life as you watch me juggle my family, my fitness journey, and the future of work as an entrepreneur and investor. This episode, I started off pondering on what season I'm in my life. I know I spent some time in more like a dormant season, and I ended up now in a more public-facing season of my life where I'm interacting more, I'm engaging, I'm networking, where I wasn't before, and it took me some time to discern what season I was in. So, what season are you in? But halfway through this particular episode, I really had an interesting revelation of not falling in love with my business or ideas. So halfway through the episode, you'll see that. But for now, what season are you in? Check this out. I'm going to talk about it. So heading to the gym, looking forward to a really good workout. Yesterday I didn't go to the gym. Like if you watched last episode, got off to a bad start. Today was a lot better. So I did a home workout yesterday, but today headed to the gym. Really excited about that because I need it. I need a nice sweat. So stay tuned and be right back. To the gym. Before I get started there, as I was walking over here, I was thinking about this idea that we have these different seasons in our life. Some seasons where we're dormant, where we're, hibernating, have our head down, focused, not public facing at all. And then you have the seasons where the season that I'm in right now is where I'm more public facing. My head is up. I'm looking around. I can see what's going on in the world and how I am applying pressure to that world. And it takes a lot of wisdom and insight to be able to sense what season you're in. Because sometimes if you're in the season of just being dormant, then that's you don't want to force your way out of that season. Because for some reason you may be being protected. I was listening to a podcast earlier, and he was mentioning that, like, when you're in a season of dormant, you're being protected from something, and that kind of like a bright light bulb went off when I heard that, because you don't know what you're being protected from. It could be anything, but when you're in a season where you're more public facing, you're out, you're promoting, you're selling your business or whatever it is, just know that your season. And understanding what season you're in is critical. And it takes time to even learn that. Sometimes you need to get a mentor. Sometimes a mentor is able to see what season you're in and help direct and guide you in that way. Sometimes it's a book, sometimes it's a video, sometimes it's a podcast that kind of opens your mind up and lets you see what season that you're in. So just wanted to share that really quick before I get this workout in. I have to go to Starbucks again. La Vida. My go-to shop is closed again. I wonder what's going on. I have to call the owner. But you're headed to Starbucks. I like to support the local coffee shops when I can. So, headed back to Starbucks. I'm about to get into some nuts and bolts talk about the business that I'm looking at and just the idea of agency. If this is something that's not for you, just fast forward to get to the next segment. But I'm going to talk about profit. I'm going to talk about profit margins and why I'm liking to acquire agencies, digital marketing agencies or digital web development agencies. What I'm finding is that they're very high margin businesses, very high margin businesses. So a really good agency is performing at 50 to 60% profit margins. That's unbelievable for any type of business. 50 to 60% profit margins. That's not all agencies. Some of the agencies I'm looking at are performing anywhere between 20 to 30%, and the goal is to get it to 50 to 60%. And that just, that is you have to financially engineer those profit margins. So as I'm lifting up the hood of the agency, as signed all the paperwork's being signed on their side. That's one of the things that I'm looking at first. One of the first things I'm going to be looking at is like, where are the profit margins at? And then how do we increase those profit margins? And one book that I'm using right now that has been a game changer is a book called Profit First. It's a Profit First system where it really promotes this idea of looking at profits first and how do you expand and grow the profits. I'm not going to get into that much detail about that. I don't want to bore you to death, but I just want to just put on record that I didn't. And let me be honest. I didn't start off looking at agencies. I really started off looking at like micro software as a service tools, niche tools. That's where I started off as far as I was doing my sourcing and my sourcing piece, and then it kind of like stumbled into the agency piece. And the more I'm working with agencies directly, there's something here. I don't have the complete picture yet, but there's something here, and I'm starting to see the pattern emerge, and I'm documenting those patterns. And a part of that documentation is sharing with you. So with that said, stay tuned for the next one. So I'm at Starbucks a little bit longer than I anticipated. I really found a good groove. Since I started, I believe a few episodes ago, I was telling you about how I wanted to start my day and the system and the routine that I put in place, a checklist that I put in place to go through before I even start any work, to get clarity and get organized. So that's been working really well for me, because even though it's like a lot of distractions in Starbucks and it's a little noisy, even with my headphones on, I still was able to find a groove. That's how I know that system, that checklist is working really good. But what I really want to talk about right now is rule number 4089 of business. Do not fall in love with your business idea. And then in my case, don't fall in love with any business that I want to acquire. I just got an email from the founder of the digital marketing, I keep on calling it digital marketing, web development agency in Ghana. And he messaged me saying, hey, we still got people that want to buy, which is a great thing, that there's still interest in the company. But the temptation is to take the quick money and just flip it really quick. That's the temptation. But what I didn't really get into this to really flip it really quick. If there is an opportunity, I'll make money on the back end with the flip. But I see something bigger. I see more value that can be created, more equity that can be built into the company before those conversations start. So, it's it's really a skill of leadership and being disciplined in not knowing your value, knowing the value. I valued the company probably, at a good rate for them, that they can see that they can get more than what they even anticipated. So that I learned really quick. And this is the rule in business, that you don't fall in love with your idea. And when you're buying a already established business, same thing. The same rule applies. Don't fall in love with the business, because anything can change at any moment. So it's really about being sober. It's really about staying focused on the process. Like, just stay focused on the process. Run the play, and then go through the whole thing, and then see how it all pans out. So I wanted to share that with you, because I just got the email. I just got the email right now. So as I always do, you're gonna process this with me. All right. To not fall in love with your business or the business idea is to talk to another business or start another idea. So that's what I did. So what I did is I'm doing some outreach right now. I saw a product that I really liked. I won't get into all the details, but bottom line is I'm reaching out to the founder right now. He's looking to sell the company, but we'll see how it goes. But this is a quick way to just stop, not fall in love with the next, with any business. Stay in the process, love the process. That's what it is. One thing that I did as I reached out to that founder is I signed up for his product. I used his product, and now I'm using his product to show him why I want to buy it. So you have to come up with creative ways. You have to come up with creative ways to get people's attention, and that's what I did. I signed up for the product. I used the product, and now I'm sending the product back to him, saying, "Hey, look, I used the product. This is great." So you have to think of creative ways. Be creative. Starbucks kicked me out, so I'm here at the lounge of Renaissance Hotel. It's been a long time since I've worked almost a full day at Starbucks without interruption. So that was a good sign. That was pretty cool to be able to do that. I haven't did that in maybe years, but like I said earlier, I was able to get into a good groove, get into a good flow. Now I'm going to spend probably the next hour or so here before I head home. So stay tuned. So right now I'm working with Fred, who is our financial AI agent, to come up with some models and scenarios for the acquisition. So he's coming up with spreadsheets. I'm calling him a he. It's coming up with spreadsheets. Asking it different scenarios, like what if I bring in 4 new clients? What, it's giving me the numbers on it's building spreadsheets out. Can you rebuild a spreadsheet with this in mind? So I'm working with, this is a good start. I mean, this is not the end all be all. You definitely want to work with somebody that is financially astute, but this is something to get the ball rolling, to get your mind thinking on different scenarios, that when you can hire that person, whether it be for a fractional or full-time or a contractor, at least you have a benchmark, and that saves you time and money, especially if that person is charging you on an hourly basis. So at minimum, I'm going to be coming with spreadsheets. I'm going to be coming with scenarios. I'm just hiring somebody to validate, confirm, and even pick it apart if that's the thing that needs to be done. And just like that, able to get a nice spreadsheet. So it looks like I'm signing off today. As I'm looking back on my day, the biggest lesson that I got was don't fall in love with your idea. If there's any other messages like that resonate with you, that you want me to expand on, you want me maybe to do a separate video to go deeper on something that you may have saw, please let me know in the comments. I'll be hanging out there for maybe 10, 15 minutes. We'd love to hear back from you. I'm also enjoying the conversations that I'm having with people in my comments as we speak now. More and more people are starting to chime in, which is great. If you don't have the time to do that, like I always say, I definitely understand. But take a minute to give me a second to give me a thumbs up on this video. Let the algorithm know that something great is happening on this channel, and also let me know as well that at least you stuck around this far to watch it. With that said, peace.
Yeah.